Welcome everyone to my channel. Today we are doing a reading on Mercury retrograde. So this is just general guidance to look at how this Mercury retrograde is impacting you. There's some signs that will be more affected than other signs, and it all depends on your natal chart. So if you are needing additional guidance at this time, it would be good to consult an astrologer. But this will be a general reading on things that may be influencing you during this retrograde period, which is from April 2nd to April 25th, I believe, of 2024. So this is just the period that we're going to be looking at, and kind of the effect of, what has happened before that may be affecting you this retrograde, or how this retrograde will affect the period after. So that general time frame. I've already picked the piles here, and I did so because I wanted very distinctive readings. I didn't want there to be overlap. There could be overlap, there could be, the same reading can come through many cards, but I wanted to make sure that the cards, the high level cards here that I wanted to look at just for the theme of your retrograde reading, that those would be different as much as possible. So that said, we'll get started. So pick your pile and then we'll meet you at your pile. So as usual, from left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can pause the video here, take a breath, pick your pile, and then we'll see you in your reading. Welcome, pile 1, to your reading. So we're gonna jump right in here. You have Virgo with digest. So Mercury also rules Virgo, so it's kind of extra important that this card is coming up, because Mercury, it's in retrograde and it also rules Virgo. And Virgo also rules the house of health and habits and that sort of thing, your body, your space, your being. So let's see what more comes up. Aries with act. Wow, okay, so this is double importance here, because Aries is where Mercury is retrograding. So there's an important connection here with how you act and what you are absorbing from your surroundings, and how you are being affected based on how you portray yourself. So you also have the Judge. And the Thread. Fascinating. So the Thread is already talking to me about connection, how things are tied together, unified. I'm getting two scenarios. It could be, tying in terms of unifying and bringing together. It could also be tying in terms of like a bondage, or something that needs to be let go. With Judge, I feel, there is something, how you are perceived by the world, how you present yourself to the world is connected very tightly to what you are feeling, what you are going through right now. So for this pile especially, I think a lot of you may be going through, it could be issues with your self-esteem. It could also be just things that are coming up for you in terms of who you are, whether you belong in this world, what your role is, why you're feeling the way you are feeling. Perhaps you're having trouble just like digesting life's experiences. There could be a lack of resentment for your past. You could be having trouble letting go of the past. And Aries is also ruled by the sun, the first house, and you have digest, which to me is talking about the solar plexus chakra, which is also the sun energy. So that there's a very direct correlation here with everything you are going through. So whatever you are going through right now, there is a need to kind of look at the part that you are playing in this situation. What are you doing or saying or acting like that are influencing how you are feeling? On a very simple level, this could relate to your habits and your lifestyle, how you present yourself. Do you have good discipline and good habits in your day that are actually helping you and letting you enjoy life and process all the experiences that you are going through? Or is something you are doing holding you back from living your best life? So let's pull tarot and look a little bit deeper into the situation for more specific issues. This again is on a very general level. This is what you could be going through, and with the houses that are so related to Mercury retrograde at this time, it seems that this period will in fact be a very like an intense period of growth and empowerment for you. Oh, okay, that's where it flipped. So we're gonna go from there. So you have the Chariot. Why did I do that? Knight of Cups, King of Cups, Nine of Wands, and Seven of Cups. So with these cards in the tarot, I feel that some of you have in fact been working on yourself, been trying to better yourself, but maybe you haven't quite seen the results yet of all the hard work you're putting into your own growth, your healing, living your best life, and kind of manifesting what you truly deserve. You guys are doing all the work, hard work in fact, and perhaps those changes have not been quite visible. So with the cards here, I feel that things are working, but it will take just a little bit more for the results to show up. The message ultimately here is to keep going with what you're doing. Some of you, for sure, you have started healthy habits. I think a lot of you are working on yourself, even if they're little, even if you're just changing one small thing in your life to maybe think one positive thought per day or do one good thing for yourself. It all starts with one simple step. So just start by making your bed in the morning and just go with that and see what more happens. So what the cards are saying here is that it'll take time for all your actions, for all these little changes you are doing to become long-term habits. So once we do something so often, it doesn't feel like we're doing anything new anymore. It becomes a habit. So those are the changes you are guided to make right now. And to some extent, like what I'm seeing is that you have to weave together good and long-term changes in your lifestyle, not just fad diets, not just things that you do like a 30-day program and then you give up. That's not going to help you out here. What you need to do is take small steps every single day to incorporate little changes that will become a long-term habit. Once you incorporate this habit into your life, it'll no longer feel like work. It'll just be something you do without thinking about it. So things like that. And it would also be good for you guys to maybe do it one thing at a time. I recently bought the book Atomic Habits. I haven't read through it completely, but there was one section I remember just like reading at the bookstore, and it said that it takes, I think, 30 days for a habit or for a simple change to like become a habit. So start with just one thing and do that every single day until it becomes a natural part of your process, and then work on the next change. And so it's important here for you to analyze your lifestyle overall. And this could relate to multiple aspects. With digest, your health is coming up very, obviously. This could also relate to many other parts of your life. How you dress, how you look, how you present yourself to the world. Maybe you want to kind of improve your sense of like communication, how you approach others. Do one step at a time and watch the changes unfold. So let me post some more cards here. And I feel like this retrograde is kind of bringing a light on that, and it'll be different in different ways for different people. For some, you may feel that, this is just something that is like nagging you at this time. It's like, I need to do this for myself. I need to do this for myself. And for others, it could be something that is actually triggering you, that there's a part of your life that is like, keeps letting you down and you don't know why. So that's where your attention is called for right now. It's asking you to work on yourself to change one aspect at a time. So this card jumped out. So we're going to take that one card that says Night with card 33. And Mimicry with card 30. So the obvious interpretation here is that for some of you, this could relate to your nighttime habits. Perhaps like your thinking patterns, like your nighttime rituals. Perhaps you guys are staying up too late, or maybe watching TV for too long, or it may be good to incorporate some nighttime rituals. With this card, what I'm getting is that fake it till you make it vibe. So it may be important, at this time, in order for something to really become set in your habits or in your ways. You have to fake it until it's become a normal part of your life. So for some, there may be a step needed into this could also be looking at what other people are doing. Perhaps you don't need to start from scratch. If you find inspiration from somewhere to follow a certain habit or a ritual, a nighttime ritual, try it and see how it works for you. And I'm also getting patience here, because it takes time for something to work. So say you start something for the first few days and it doesn't work. Don't give up. Keep going. And with this, I get the image of like the night with the moon, like a cycle. So it'll actually take many nights for you to kind of, sleep on things, let those habits be imbibed in your body. So it doesn't have to relate to nighttime habits. It could relate to all your habits, but it'll take some time, many nights, for it to really absorb into your body. And I see also that cycle over there with the light and dark. So it'll take many moons for these habits and changes you are making in your life to be incorporated. So, and this will actually be pretty intense for you guys, even though there are simple changes. these are simple changes that I feel you are asked to make for your own long-term happiness and health, and like your life in general, who you are, what you are meant to be, where you're going, what your life purpose is. These are all changes that will affect you on a much larger scale that you are not seeing right now. So the important thing is that you do it. You take these simple steps and make it easy on yourself. You know, don't overwhelm yourself by doing too much at once. So do these simple things every single day and don't give up, and eventually they'll become a part of you and they will align you to better opportunities that are meant for you. So that's what the retrograde is actually helping with. Okay, now we're going to pull some clarifiers. Queen of Swords, Knight of Swords on the Knight of Cups, the Wheel, Seven of Swords, Nine of Wands on the Seven of Cups. So you have a little 7-9, 7-9 alternate going on there. Okay. So with this, I do get the sense that some of you, it may not be just adding better choices into your lifestyle. It could be eliminating certain choices that are not good for you, certain habits, relationships, or whatever it is that you are doing that is ultimately not serving your best interest. So think about who you want to be, like judging yourself, you know, before you judge anyone else. What is, and it's necessary for you to judge from a sense of non-judgment. Yeah, that's a great quote right there. To judge yourself without being too harsh on yourself, okay? Like, so judge in terms of, is what I'm doing actually helping me? Why am I doing it? So it's important to analyze yourself on a deep level and cut away things that are not helping you, thoughts that are not helping you. And once you've kind of done that, to cultivate better habits. So as I keep stressing over and over that this is not an overnight thing, you know, you can't do too much at once. This will take one step at a time. So change one thing about yourself that you are really feeling called to change and work on that. With the Knight of Swords on top of the Knight of Cups, I get that patience is required, but you will start to see those changes. So say you do one or two changes in your life, and then you'll notice how significantly your life has changed based on that. And that will inspire you to make more changes, and it'll become easier. It'll actually become more enjoyable for you to go after everything that you want and accomplish everything that you desire and all that you want to be. But it's those first few steps that are going to be the hardest for you. So be patient and don't give up. I also get the sense that these things, you know, when you do the little steps at a time, it may be really hard to see it, but then when you look back, you'll be like, oh my God, my life has shifted so much based on those little things that I did for myself. And that is where your life is heading right now, pile one. You're coming up on a very big, destined moment in your life, and everything that you do for yourself right now are going to have significant payoff in the long term. Yeah, it's important for you guys to not feel dejected, and it may be also helpful here to not really share what you're doing with everybody. Don't broadcast this because people may judge you and may make you feel like you're not good enough. So say you're doing great, but then one day you miss something because you just had a busy day. You just, sometimes it happens. But the more you tell other people, they might start to judge you more harshly rather than help you, So keep things to yourself, and, it's okay if you can't get through with it every single day. Cut yourself some slack, but don't give up altogether, Take a break. It's okay to put it aside if it's tiring you out, but don't forget it. Keep taking that step and take one small step a day. I just feel that you won't realize how far you have walked until you take those steps. You think you are not getting far. I get the sense with the whole reading that that's how you may feel as you're going through with this process, or based on what you have already done, because I did see, when I first started laying out the cards, that you have done a lot for yourself, and you may not see how your life has changed based on that, but you will soon see the difference. You may also want to look back, and if you hadn't done those good things you had done for yourself, how much worse things could have been, So appreciate yourself for all that you have done for yourself, and keep going through with it, pile one. You will see these changes in the long run, even if you're not seeing it right now, even if you haven't seen it in the recent past, you will see it soon. And then what I'm also getting is that it may be a change that it's not even the change itself that will make a big difference, but the steps that you have taken to incorporate those changes, that discipline, that commitment that you have built, that part of you has gotten stronger, so you can accomplish a lot other things, whether you realize it or not. Action. Patience. Potential. And there you go. That's a full summary of your reading right there. All the action you take, be patient with it, because there's more potential here than you can see right now. All these things that you are doing for yourself will have so much more payoff in the long run. You will see it when you look back. You won't necessarily see it as you are doing these things, but you'll see it when you look back. So those are your messages, pile one. I hope that resonated. Wishing you lots of strength during this retrograde, and we'll see you again next time. Take care. Welcome, pile two, to your reading. So we're gonna jump right in. You have Gemini with cross-pollinate. Mercury rules Gemini, so this is also a very coincidental pile. Pile one was so related to this retrograde. Was, I feel like if you pick pile one, your energies were most impacted during the retrograde with debilitated and discomfort. Yeah, so this pile is also strongly affected by the retrograde, with Gemini coming up here and debilitated coming up. So I explained during the intro, I think, that not all signs will feel the effect harshly or strongly, but some signs will. So if you're a Gemini, Virgo, Aries, or Libra, or depending on the sign that Mercury is in your natal chart, you may want to look at the other placements as well, because that will impact how strongly you are affected. Anyway, let's jump into your reading. So you also have the Temple. And the Seed. I love this card. So it's clear that, this pile is kind of feeling the effects of Mercury retrograde as it's always described, the sense of communication backfiring, issues, communicating your ideas to other people. With you guys, I get the sense that there may be some issues in your relationships, and in other ways of communication. So say in your workplace, with your friends, with your family, even through social media, if whatever you are working on, there may be some issues that you are facing at this time that is straining those relationships. With these two cards though, what is so apparent here is your sense of faith and your connection to the divine. It would actually be a good time for you to maybe pull back a little from your tasks. Like maybe it's a good time to not do any new things. Don't start anything new unless you have obligations you completely can't back out of. It would be good to kind of withdraw yourself a little bit during this period. Don't start any new relationships or have tough conversations. It's not that don't exactly, but note that that's where your issues are. So don't stress over it too much, and don't put yourself in a situation where even a little mistake could backfire immensely. And also, if there is something that you have to do that you can't get away from, trust in your faith, because a lot of you have immense potential for prayer and manifestation, and you are maybe struggling with whatever you are struggling with is pushing you towards the deepening of your faith, to deepen your connection with the divine, to find more effective ways of prayer. And it doesn't have to necessarily be going to a place of worship and praying. It may be important for you to just set some time to meditate at home, work on resetting your intentions, making your intentions clear to the universe and what your desires are, strengthening your connection to the divine, to the universe, to, spirit, whatever you call it, however it resonates with you, because there is immense potential within you, and the discomfort that you're going through and the challenges that you are going through right now, and it will be different for, different people watching this. For some of you, this could actually be a really intense challenge, that you just, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Your faith has so much potential, and this situation has so much potential for your growth, for your faith, for your empowerment and advancement, in all ways, spiritually as well as just with who you are in the world. So don't underestimate what you are going through right now. There's potential for so much growth and changes that could really turn your situation around. So take all this as it applies to you. I always say, don't, just because someone in a reading said it, don't take it too seriously. Do the most common sense aspect and take all things considered, you know your situation more than I do at the end of the day. So trust in that. flipped, so we'll go from there. Queen of Swords, Ten of Wands, Ace of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, and Four of Wands. Yeah, communication for you right now, and connections especially, with cross-pollinate here, it's all the groups you belong to, how you are relating to others, what you are learning from one and bringing to another, all those aspects are coming up to the forefront. So for you guys, it's definitely a time to pull back from doing too much. Pull back from, if you have many social activities going on, maybe focus on just one or two right now, or none at all if that's what you need right now, because there is a need to pull back and not allow social situations, interactions to pull you down. And if there's no way to avoid it at all, then your faith is important. Or this could also be challenges that you are just going through in general in terms of connection, relationships, finding your place in the world. Connect with the divine, because that is what is important for you right now, and that'll bring about a fresh start in your relationships. It'll bring out the change that is needed for you to have more stable and long-term relationships. Let's see what more comes up. I'm using the Crow Oracle here because, Mercury retrograde has to do with air energy, and I wanted the crows to kind of be here. Waterproof. Insight. Wow. Some of you, you have been through so much that you just can't, you're almost scared to make new connections and make new relationships, because you have been hurt so much that you just can't go on anymore. So with this retrograde, it may actually be triggering some past memories, or your own self-esteem issues, your own feelings of being bullied, say, or being left out, hurt, or betrayals from the past that made you feel debilitated. All those are being triggered right now, and they're coming up as an opportunity to heal. So this could be as simple as surrendering whatever's coming up, asking the universe to heal those situations for you. And that's important here. That intention is very important here. Even if you have done it before and it has never worked, do it now. Ask the universe for exactly what you want to heal and what needs to be turned around in your life. Because we keep expecting things sometimes. We want things to change, And we do certain things, you know, we maybe hang out with different people, we end certain relationships, move on to new relationships, hoping that things will change. But what is missing is that intention, that prayer to state your desires clearly to the universe and say, this is what needs to end in my life and this is what needs to begin. This is what I want. This is what I desire. So this retrograde is specifically bringing up something where you have not created that intention. Even if you think you may have, or you may have prayed around it, pray clearly and exactly for what you want. So that is important here, and that's what this insight and this waterproof is for. You may have gone through many emotions in the past and kind of prayed or hoped in a very general sense, but that intention needs to become clear for you. And with communication coming up so strongly in your reading, it's also clear that your throat chakra may be feeling a little blocked right now. So during this retrograde, possibly make a journal or, record everything that you are going through, the triggers that are coming up, where you feel that you are lacking in your life, what needs to change in your life. And if you have the energy, you can also do it now, but perhaps after the retrograde as well, you can do it multiple times, to make those intentions clear to the universe so that change can happen. And that's going to happen with your throat chakra. And yeah, like your throat chakra is kind of blocked right now. So you need to work on healing that. And the more you make your intentions clear, the more your throat chakra will unblock. So you have the 8 of Pentacles that jumped out. 10 of Swords on the 10 of Wands. Queen of Swords. Knight of Swords. The Wheel. So these 3 cards did appear in the previous reading, if you feel so called. And the Wheel of Fortune is here twice for you. Queen of Swords is also here twice for you. Wow. Yeah. Okay, so let's read these as clarifiers. This goes back to, you may have prayed multiple times for certain things, but it may be passive. You may be hoping that. You may have just asked for it, but without really intending for that clearly. So it's time to kind of like, when you say something out loud, pile 2, you have to really feel it. So you can say anything out loud, but you will feel whether there is a sense of like fear or discomfort, or there's something blocking you from clearly accepting what you have said as truth. So that's where the throat chakra is unblocked. So throat chakra is blocked. To unblock that chakra, you have to say something and mean it. And sometimes you can keep saying your affirmations, right? Like, I want better friends. I want better friends. But then say you still have friends that you are meeting in your life that are not good friends. So it's important to analyze the situation fully. So rather than just focus on that one positive or that one affirmation, focus on also what needs to be eliminated for that manifestation to be true. So maybe try, rather than just say, I want good friends, I'm willing to let go of relationships that are not serving me, and I welcome relationships that are serving me. So you see how there's a balance of letting go and bringing in more. Like, that balance needs to happen, where it's not just attracting, focusing on what you are attracting, wanting, it's also focusing on eliminating what you don't want. And that'll take time for you to analyze. So this retrograde may just be a trigger, will just be triggering these feelings within you. And that analysis may actually come after the retrograde is over, pile 2. So keep that in mind as well, that it's not just this retrograde, that maybe during this retrograde, just pay attention, but even after it's over, keep working on your manifestations. With the 10 of Swords on this 10 of Wands, again, I think a cycle of really hard relationships or struggles are ending for you, and that's because clarity is coming through. Not only are you recognizing what you want and are focusing on those manifestations clearly, you will also be focusing on what you don't want. So you will be eliminating those things that you are attracting that is not good for you, and you will start to only attract what is good for you. And that, after, this has shifted within you, and I think it'll be after the retrograde, however long it takes you after, you will pave the way for healthier relationships, for long-term stable relationships. So you have to do the work. Once you do the work, things will start to shift, and then you will start to attract better relationships, and you will see that people will come into your life to stay, to support you, to give you the strength that you need, to be good partners, and good, supportive relationships overall. So let's pull some more cards. Transformation. That's exactly what is happening right now. You are transforming your intentions, your beliefs, your own power. It's really about you and who you are. You are changing all that flexibility so that better things can come to you. Stillness. And the throat chakra, the thyroid gland, also looks like a butterfly. So that is kind of validating what I said earlier about the throat chakra, and the blue here is also there. With this flexibility and stillness card, that's what I'm getting again here, pile 2. It's the fact that you need to take a look very clearly and intentionally at what needs to change in your life in terms of what needs to come and what needs to leave. And for you to be clear on your manifestations. That is why the Ace of Wands is in the middle of your reading. To be clear on your intention, which will manifest the change that you need. And so when you make an affirmation, or state your desires out loud, you will feel the truth of it within you. And if it feels like, oh, I didn't quite mean that, I haven't said it in a very intentional way, work on that. Take time to cultivate the power that is needed to manifest what you desire, to say those intentions clearly and confidently, how, in a way that that it's truth, and then you will start to manifest all the intentions that you desire. So those are your messages, pile 2. I hope that resonated. Wishing you lots of love and strength during this retrograde. Clearly you are going through a lot, so I hope this has helped, and we'll see you again next time. Take care. Welcome, pile 3, to your reading. So you have Leo with Shine, And you have transits with climate. So you have lots of 5s here, 3 5, so 5 5 5. And you have the self. Lots of pretty cards here. I'm gonna put this here because it's just so pretty. And the Bardo. Oh, and another 50. The Bardo is like the in-between, I believe, the in-between phase of life and death, or in general, because this is the Archetype Tarot, or Archetype Oracle. So it's, yeah, in between the liminal space, you know, with anything. I have to say, this is like the most colorful, I think, so far with the piles, like especially with the colors and the patterns here and here. It really just feels like there's a lot going on. And for you guys, I really do feel that there's a lot going on in your life. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, especially in terms of planetary transits and how they are affecting you. There's a lot going on that meets the eye. Leo is also like a card of, you know, a lot. So it just seems like you guys are really, things are building up, if not already chaotic, and you are coming up on another, you know, you're in that in-between, but now you're moving to another phase, and a lot is happening in that process. So with this retrograde, I feel that perhaps you're not affected by this as much, or perhaps, honestly, I get this sense that there is so much chaos in your life that, oh yeah, Mercury retrograde, no big deal, whatever. You know, so this, perhaps this retrograde is not, you won't feel it as strongly in your life. It's not impacting you as much as some other people, but you know, there could be subtle shifts or things other people are going through, or changes that are happening in the world around you can also impact you. It's your time to shine, though. You'll come out of this process roaring like a lion and shining as bright as you can. And even with the pearl here right in the middle of the self, I just feel that this is the time for you to shine your light, and whatever you are going through right now is helping you shine that light. So when you come out of this phase, you are going to come out much better than you went in. So this flipped. Okay, the Queen of Swords also has come up in every single reading so far, if I'm not wrong. I'm pretty sure she came up in the first two. So there is a need to clear the clutter here, to be, of course, communication being affected so strongly with the retrograde. And the Queen of Swords is like the card of communication, you know, clear, confident, and compassionate communication. So natural that she's coming up in every reading. The World, Queen of Cups, Justice, and Knight of Wands. So with Justice here and Libra, I believe, yes, it's opposite Gemini because it's the second house. Yeah, Gemini is the second house. No, third. Maybe I have it wrong. Ignore me. So if you're a Libra, this could be affecting you, but I need to brush up on my astrology a little bit more before I start to talk about it. But anyway, the World card here also is talking about the cycle. You know, she's coming from one world into the next, so it's like it's talking about that liminal phase as well. You are in a big phase of transition right now, and transit's also coming up there. So I'm reading these cards. There's a sense of you have let go already, and in this phase that you are in, balance is being restored. So you may feel like you're not doing much or nothing is happening, but the world around you is shifting so much, and it's shifting for you. The time of action will soon come up, perhaps sooner than you wanted to. So in this time right now that you have been given, pile 3, take your time to heal. Let the universe sort out what needs to be sorted out. And you have a lot of court cards here too. So I think, you will attract the support that you need when the time is right. But right now, your focus is just on yourself, on healing yourself, on shining your light, on improving your light. However it translates to you. If you need rest, take more rest. If you need to work on yourself, do that. A good balance of both. And in general, the Mercury retrograde is not a good time for, to start new relationships or new projects, things that involve a lot more planning, communication, that sort of thing, just because the energies are not favorable for that. However, there is nothing here to indicate that it will affect you in a negative way. So if you are in fact starting something new, that's totally fine. Keep in mind that retrograde will impact, if it's not impacting you as much, it may impact the world around you more as well. So bear that in mind. So even though you may not have issues with communications, the people that you are working with may have those challenges at this time. So let me pull some more cards. This was like a straightforward, gentle reading. I get the sense that, your life, there's a lot going on, but in this reading and how you are being affected in this retrograde, it's not that much. It's just the usual for you. So it's because there's not much being affected and not much starting either, because you're in that phase of transition. Kind of take this time to nurture yourself and heal, and more will come soon when the time is right. So you got distance and community. So with you, pile 3, it's important for you to have a strong community. And if you haven't found that yet, it will come. You will also play a very important role in your community, if not the world overall. There's something important that you are going to share with others. It may be as simple as just people are so inspired by your light and how amazing you are. You just, you set such a good example for others to follow. It could also be that you have a role where you're going to in some sort of authoritative way, like speak and influence the world around you. So I get the sense that, you know, during this retrograde, keep your distance from starting bigger projects or being too social, if that's who you naturally are. With Leo coming up, I do get the sense that a lot of you, it's very natural for you to reach out to your community, reach out to your friends, be more social and outgoing. At this time, it may actually be good for you to take your time to nurture yourself, because even if you don't feel it in your life, there's actually more going on, you know, behind the scenes, that you are not seeing. So don't take any like big decisions right now, or do too much. Even if you are feeling up for it, don't start anything really big and new at this time, unless you are entirely obligated to. But this is a time for you to really take this time to focus on yourself and rest, and work on what matters to you, because things will pick up soon, and I feel that a lot is coming for you. A lot will change. You may actually have a lot of responsibility coming up soon. So it's like, don't worry about that now, because you'll have so much coming up soon. So take this time to rest. Ace of Swords, Two of Swords, Knight of Cups, oh no, that's Knight of Wands, sorry. So Knight of Cups, Six of Swords, and Five of Pentacles. Okay, so let's read these with the clarifier. Yeah, so with the Ace of Swords here, I feel that there's this time where you're going through so much, just so much, either energetically or socially, and that's been a theme in your life so far, where there's just a lot going on. And even if you're not doing much, you feel yourself being tired because you are feeling influenced by something more than you. There are a lot of energetic shifts happening. So take this time to rest, and as you do that, you will find inspiration for what is to come. You will find more clarity, you will find peace, you will find ideas, the empowerment that is needed for you to begin this next phase of your life. So in this liminal phase right now, just chill out, take your time to rest, because ideas will come to you when you are in the period of rest and relaxation. With the Two of Swords here, now is not the time to put yourself out there, whatever it may be, you know, like I said, whether it's with your friends or starting a new project, other than your routine things, you know, try to avoid social interaction or activities as best as you can, because now is the time to really just pull yourself back from social stuff. It's time to really work on yourself. Whatever like love, nurture, energy that you give to other people, pile 3, it's time to treat yourself and nurture yourself. That'll pay off for you at this time. You're really moving into a very empowered, uplifting, and busy cycle. But don't push that, because this is a time to recharge. If you don't take this time to recharge, when the time comes for action, you're going to feel exhausted. So it's kind of, or if not exhausted, it's more the sense that you may have some unnecessary drama surrounding you that don't need to come with you when you go to this new cycle, this transition that you are in, and especially at this time during the Mercury retrograde, you may just attract some unnecessary drama or confusion or whatever, miscommunication that is just not necessary for you right now. And if you do, know that you have the strength to heal it at this time. But the best way to not go through that is to just avoid it altogether. So pull yourself back from social situations. Cancel whatever plans you need to. Even if you end up feeling a little alone or bored, that's okay, because you don't need the drama right now. So pull yourself back, focus on yourself until this retrograde has passed, and know that you are being prepared for better things to come. So if there is in fact drama that you can't avoid, it's good to take the path of least resistance, the path of compassion. You don't need to be right here. You don't need to win. Just let the other person have it this time, because you know what? You don't even need that right now, and it won't even matter in the long term. Leadership, blessings, delight. Yeah, pile 3, this is people wish they were you during the retrograde. The first 2 piles were definitely going through a lot. For you guys, just chill. This retrograde is not affecting you. There's nothing in your pile that would indicate that this retrograde is affecting you. If it is indeed affecting you, it's giving you a chance to shine. It's giving you a chance to connect with yourself and empower yourself in this process. So when the time does indeed come, when you're kind of out of this cycle, things have shifted, you're gonna shine even better. And with these cards coming up, delight, blessings, and leadership, there's just it's so light, it's so positive, it's so happy. You're gonna go very far, pile 3. Everything that is happening in your life right now is helping you, even if it doesn't appear so, or even if you don't like it. But ultimately, you don't have to worry about anything in your life right now. Focus on yourself. Keep being the best that you can be. At this retrograde especially, take time to withdraw yourself a little bit. That'll be beneficial. But beyond that, once this retrograde is over, don't hold back. Have fun. Enjoy yourself, because there are so many good things coming up for you, and you're going to do great. So those are your messages, pile 3. I hope that resonated. Please leave a comment if it did. I'd love to hear from you, and we'll see you again next time. Take care. Welcome, pile 4, to your reading. So you have Scorpio with Investigate, Sagittarius with Expand, and Alethea, it means truth, I believe. And the Maiden, Roses. in both the cards. So you have an 8 here and an 8 there, a 77 there, and a 9. This is lovely, pile 4. The energies here are very light, very chill. So pile 1 and 2 had like the brunt of the retrograde energies. Pile 3 was super happy, and then now with you guys, it's further like more light, more chill, more happy. The retrograde is actually helping you identify your own truth. For you, this retrograde has to do with self-growth, self-expansion, really like your own self-love, you know, the intimacy that you have with yourself is expanding, is growing. Some of you will feel more pleasure in your own body during this retrograde. You'll start to kind of like enjoy your own company and who you are, the things that you have to offer. This is such a beautiful stage of like growth, expansion, and love. Bloom, that's the word, bloom with the flowers. You guys are going to be just blooming into who you are. So focus on the truth, focus on what you love, what you desire, let that bloom more deeply. I'm gonna pull tarot. Honestly, like, the energies are so simple. I think the challenge that I always have is that I read the energies and they're so complex in a way for me to like translate, and it's easier when it's one-on-one because, you know, you're dealing with one single person in their situation. But when you're doing like a reading like this where I don't have your perspective, you know, I don't know what you are going through, so I'm just reading the energies so generally. It's a challenge for me because it can be so broad, and it's like, well, what's this about? It's just so broad. But in your case, it's very simple and it's very light. It's not complicated energy. You're blooming, you're growing, a time of happy things, a time of growth and expansion that you are also initiating with yourself. You are choosing to learn and grow and really come into yourself. So the Queen of Swords has shown up in every reading so far, and it'll be interesting to see if she shows up in yours as well. So you got the Star here, which is also Aquarius energy. So we got Scorpio, Sagittarius, Aquarius, the Empress. I don't think the Empress symbolizes a zodiac. And you also have Temperance. That Temperance is Sagittarius again. So you did get Sagittarius twice in your reading. Sagittarius energy twice in your reading. But it's not, Sagittarians are not as impacted in this Mercury retrograde. However, you may want to look at your natal chart and see where your placements are. That could give you a bit more light on how Mercury retrograde is affecting you. This is just the ultimate crux of your reading here, pile 4. You're coming in on a time of lightness. You have gone through a lot of struggles. You have worked on yourself so much, but you have worked on yourself so much in a way, like you had no choice but to do the work that was required. You know, you had no choice but to like step outside of your comfort zone, like discipline yourself so intensely, work so hard, push yourself. You've had to do all that. You've had no other choice, but now you're starting to do those things in a much more pleasurable way. You're working on yourself because you want to, and that you know you'll get better. You're loving working on yourself. You're enjoying this process of learning, growing, expanding. You are working on your own body. There are physical changes in your body that are coming up. For some of you, you may also be getting pregnant. If that is what you desire, you will be getting pregnant as well. For some, this process may take time, but you will conceive eventually, so be patient. You have waited a lot for this time in your life to feel just free and at peace with yourself. And that is exactly what is happening for you. The time of difficulties has now passed. The time of like working really hard to get what you need has passed. You know, you don't have to feel like you need to push yourself and keep having to prove yourself to get what you deserve, to get the recognition you deserve. It's going to come so easily. Your dreams are coming true, your wishes are coming true. There's also this sense of like self-love and self-intimacy. So it's, if you have been, you know, kind of going through like a dry spell, pleasure is coming your way. Physical pleasure as well, not just a happy life, you know. Physical, sexual pleasure is also coming your way. So let's see what else comes up.